much anything I can ask him, my jamo. And he's a no money, and why you? And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lofa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are red. The brothers giving a real and the premise from there. To work with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make on you. I can't Sktv menu. Say much anything I can ask him, my jamo. And he's a no money, and why you? And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lofa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
And indeed, Sktv, it is the best in Liberia. Sktv, it is the best in Africa. And for my fact, Sktv, it is the best around the world. I don't know about you, but we are most definitely, we are the best because, you know, we talk things that other people are afraid of, other people are afraid to talk about. We say these things, we bring these things to public land, and the public also, in fact, they also appreciate all of the work we do here. So in fact, we are proud of our work. We are proud of all of the things we do here. So we are 100% okay. And want to say thanks to all of you, our followers, our supporters, and the well wishers, all of the supports that some of you give to us, whether it's moral, whether it's financial, or any kind of support that you give to us, we are so happy. But again, we moved. Yes, today is Tuesday, the 25th. Wow. How can this month just keep running? But let me bring out my team member. Today we'll be having one of our guests, in fact, a special guest today on this show. But let me bring on all of our team members first to be ready on this platform before bringing on our guest for today. But again, folks, if you just joining us, we want to say the pleasant good evening and welcome to the program, the SKTV show, right here on Truth FM 96.1 from 6 o'clock straight to 8 o'clock. But on today, the first 1 hour, we have our guest already in studios, well seated, and we'll join him. But we want you to share the show. Let's share the show, people, so that at least we can reach 400, close to 400 to 500 followers. Then we can bring on the guest. But Mona, what's up? How have you been?
Everything is going on smoothly. Yeah.
Everything always going on smoothly.
Everything is going on smoothly.
When it comes to Mona, everything is okay.
Yes, everything is okay. Everything going on smoothly. Yeah.
This song. I don't know what.
Once life is there, yeah, we'll get there.
Look at you. But Mona, everything is okay. You always reminds me of how they call the Liberian artist MC Carey, right?
Yeah,
is everything okay?
Everything okay.
By the way, that's good. So Mona, let's get the show so that we have a lot of followers here and today. What a day again. Yes, indeed. Roof Rappers Spent by all of you who are watching Sifas, Jason, Jen, and we said among also sharing the show. So again, people, if you just following us, this is how we like to say that pleasant good evening. 6 minutes past 6. That's the time check in Liberia.
Yeah.
And it's evening time. Let's share the show, Muna. Let's share the show. So many things to talk about today, but we will have our guest first. When our guests go, then we will go on all of the training national issues and so forth. But so many things to talk about today. Trust me, I know some of you want to talk about the the students' protest and the ECOWAS meetings and all of the happening. But again, sometimes we have a lot of good people who are also working hard behind the scene to make sure that they maintain stability. That means people are helping behind the scene that you don't even know about. So these people, whenever they want the platform to use, or to come out to explain to us what they've been doing and what they are doing, sometimes we got to give them the opportunity. In fact, all of the time. In fact, the door job been knocking on the Muna. But Muna, go ahead. How the Tuesday? How's Reggie?
Yeah, never. Tuesday is okay. Reggie is fine. Everything is cool. Everything going on smoothly. And that's why I just said it. Yeah. I don't want entire going to that country as well.
Everything going on smoothly. Is there any news about godfathership? Because none of them.
No. That godfather thing. That godfather thing. No. We have that godfather thing. You.
But when I get wet, when I wait there, exactly mean I just don't know that because people are not buying godfathership.
That godfather thing reach yeah. So we don't know. Maybe they plan. I don't know, but no godfather business yet. No godfather business yet.
Correct. So Muna is saying, in fact, Muna is telling us that there are no golf. But Muna, in case I want to buy godfathership, is that possible?
To buy godfathership?
Yes.
That's impossible, because what a tangible.
Let me want to be godfather. Can you imagine the men that bring us on this life? I won't be his father. I want to get a while. Oh, Muna, I got to be godfather. Muna, you have to be godfather.
And that's more than do the big godfather. No, me a godfather. When you say godfather, you know what you're talking that godfather. Then you know what you have, right? You know what you have in the relationship between you and your people, the tangibles, great things, good things, and things. But You didn't have boy me can't get a chicken is a godfather.
Let you know that what Mona, as far as I'm concerned, before I bring on more quickly, Monja joining us, but Mona to but none of day now people are either you cross over their body, you become godfather, or it's some kind of way to become godfather.
They're
So
the
it means
continent person.
eh?
They're making a great mistake. Yeah, a great mistake to cross over their body. Then you godfather. Making a great mistake.
What? No, Mona.
You
No.
know what I mean?
Anyway,
Maybe when you tell somebody that person is
hmm.
my godfather, you know what that
No.
means? Or my godmother, isn't that fun? Then a big crossing on their body and they say godfather. When they
Wait.
post it on small, maybe they send out small, bring small money to the person, my godfather, you're going to get small cash. They both making fun.
Well, that's it, folks. So please, let's share the show. We're almost in 300. Yes, so our guests
Yeah,
still waiting.
definitely.
Yeah, because we want to
Yeah.
hit 400 to 500 mark, maybe numbers. Then we can bring on our guest. Yeah, but Mark, George joining us. My brother, good evening. Yeah, I know you are good to go.
Well, I'm all set and ready to go. You know, I was gone for the rest of the day yesterday. I came at the very end of the show, but I'm here today. We're ready to rock and roll to do the Liberians people work on SKTV. That's why I'm here. And once again, we say welcome to the listening audience and the fans, the sympathizers from the US, Australia, Canada, Asia, and most specifically Liberia, the bulk of the target audience. That's where it is for today. Yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful. So no time to waste because time is so important to us on the kind of what we do. So quickly, let me see our best to bring on our guests so that we can start up and why other people are also sharing the show because I know it'd be so too interesting for some of us who are maybe quote unquote still waiting. But by the time you listen to our guests, you will definitely know that indeed we are set and fresh and ready to go. But Mark, we are opportune today to have Alaji Musa Sano, the CEO and founder, Multi-Service World Charity Foundation. Mind you, there are a lot of people behind the scene who've been working hard in maintaining peace and stability through the little thing they do behind the scene because of some of the help, especially when it comes to medications or hospitals and so forth. But you know, sometimes some of the people are not being or talk about. All of the time we only hear government, lawmakers, and so forth. But I just like the way today Mr. Sanon choose to come on and say, okay, yes, I'm into this charity thing, and I want to come out to speak to our people about some of the things I've been doing. So, Mr. Sanon, let me say good evening. I don't know whether you get me. If you get me, yes. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Melbourne. I'm here. Good evening again. Having me on your show on SKTV.
Wonderful. So we want you. So I'm trying to have you. Yeah. So go ahead and introduce yourself to our panelists on the show. And for matter of fact, welcome to Truth FM. I know when you enter the compound, you are very easy. Wow, what a great media place, maybe entity to be. Yeah. So again, want to say the pleasant good evening and welcome to Truth FM and that of SKTV.
Absolutely, Mr. Melbourne. Thank you so much for having me on your show this evening. I am Musa Sano, born and raised in Point Chairman, Lofa County. I attended Vonyama Public School, Price, Madingo School Prefect at the time. Also, captain for Green Eagle before the war. I left Voncham, went to Kakata. I attended John Joseph Gion High School on soccer scholarship. Then when the war broke up, luckily, we came on refugee life in Masanta. There I began another schooling. But in that, I was also appointed as a school captain for 2 consecutive years. Under my leadership, we were able to really sensitize young people to inject them into real life, focus them on education, most especially refugee life wherein everybody was displayed, but we were there and has an instrument to redirect young people through recreation, sporting, talent show, and other stuff. We make sure many of those refugee youth between male and female will begin to redirect them, into their own social life, into their own educational life. Later, when I graduated from Masanta Refugee School, I used to be a good soccer player on Masanta team. And I even had the opportunity to play Coupe Conte. That is the former president Lassana Conte tournament. That was one of the best tournaments in Guinea that time. That time, I was super hard, and when I was encouraged by one of IE strong member, Mr. Ama Kane, who really recommended me to IE. When I came down here, to call long matter short, I was able to obtain both IE and Gion Lone Star selection within the same week. But I did not spend more time because I had another opportunity to go Conakry grading to set on refugee resettlement to the state. When I arrived in the state, I was opportune to ready start schooling. I graduated from SS County College. I attended one of the most renowned institution, Records Newark. I graduated with criminology and psychology, and now I'm an educator, impacting life, young children, making them to have better life, redirecting them in school. And we have another Saturday classes right in our community called Uplift Academy. I'm also doing a mentorship in that school. Foregoing, I became part of Kwaduboni Madingo Association in 2017, and I was appointed to serve as the convention chair. In that time, we were able to bring in innovation, new idea, expanding in our network with outside world. For the first time, Kwaduboni was able to send invitation for people in Canada, Europe, Australia. And which of course the convention really boom and we were able to connect the world. So the second when the time frame of Mr. Lassana travel was about to finish, I think I came with the idea that there was a need for a young energetic leader to come and make a change. And I had a massive support. I became Kwaduboni president. But fast forward before going there, in Kwaduboni organization, I was member of the Constitution Review Committee and the Kwaduboni radio project co-chair. Though the radio project had delayed for some reason, we can't really discuss that now because it had the long due delay beyond people's expectations, so we don't discuss that. But time to come, we might discuss it into depth. Now, when I spent 5 years leading Kwaduboni Madingo Association, transforming the institution to the highest height. Then when my time of reference got through with Kwaduboni, I decided to form my own organization called Multi-Service World Charity Foundation. But before then, in Conakry, I became the godfather of refugees. I became the ambassador for the refugees because of my entrepreneurship, I was running my own business. My area became a safe haven for thousands of refugees who were in Conakry. Even my business center was the area wherein parents could locate and relocate their family if they come from outside world to meet their family they have to come to my area first, right at Besia Condobwe.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, CEO and Adam Funa for that brilliant introduction. But we have some of our team of panelists who just joining us. Sheikh Sharif from the Nima County also just joining us. So that means people are widely listening to you right now as we speak across the country. So indeed, Sheikh, first, let me say good evening to you, my dear friend and brother Sheikh, and everything there in Nima County quickly before we come back to our guest.
Yes, good evening, Maybon, and good evening to all of the panelists on the show, and good evening to our guest. So we want to say good evening to you, those of you in Nimba County. If you are there in Grange, what part of Nimba you are listening, we want to say good evening and welcome to the SKTV here this evening. But yes, Nimba is good. We are doing great here in Nimba County.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Mark, we now move on. Muna, you listen to the CEO and founder of Multi-Service World Charity Foundation, explaining about his own life experience and the education background and so forth. So I don't know, but let me start off with some of the questions. Let me start with the question. So, Mr. Sano, I want you to tell us what inspired you to humanity, because what you're talking about during the war, people was seeing you as one of the ambassador for them. So what really inspired you to create or form this organization or the charity foundation?
Thank you so much, Mr. Mabran. Before I begin, please permit me speak about my dad, the late Alhaji Fodesano. He was an entrepreneur, he was a farmer, he was a philanthropist, and a businessman. I saw humanitarianism in my father when I was a child. At the time, my father had invested all of his resources to meet the need of the poor, to meet the need of the people in the community that needed. And I saw that. We grew in that. We saw it. Even at his farm, he have released his crops. People that are traveling from other village to other village, while they transit at our village, they have a free time to pick any fruit of their choice. Nobody could stop them. And even in the town in Vanchama, our father relationship with the entire tribes in Lofa County was really essential because of his humanitarianism, because the hand that he changed with people. That make our father to be one of the respectable person in the society. And when the war broke up, when we got on refugee life, we saw humanity again. It started when other countries had shared hands with Liberian refugees to put food on our table. So I kept that concept. So when I immigrated to the US, I decided to put my dad humanitarianism into reality in order for me to uplift the spirit of my father's legacy. This is how I chose this field, and I love it.
Wonderful. That's good, Mark. You one person who always into all of these things, even though with all of our political talk, you always have that love of humanity and so forth. And one of your brothers here today, go ahead. I know you have so many questions that you want to ask.
Yeah, I was about to ask my brother a question, but when he talked about Godfather, he scared me because we want to get away from the Godfather thing. So when he mentioned the word Godfather, I wanted to take the
Romado,
positive
sorry,
away.
Romado.
Okay, yeah, we will take the role model what the Godfather thing for now.
All
But
right,
anyway, Mr. Sano,
thank you.
welcome to the show. I listened to your opening statement, your deliberation. I just want to ask one or two questions. Because the name of the organization is a Multi or Services War Charity. So I don't know if you got a war vision or you got a specific country that you are targeting. And I want you to tell our audience specifically, when you say you want to improve the lives of low-income, impoverished community, like which program are you targeting? Whether it's about housing, whether it's about scholarship. I want you to be a little bit specific as to the kind of services your organization provide.
Thank you. Our mission is to improve the life of low-income and impoverished community in Africa, but now we're in Liberia. We are stationed in Guinea, Gambia, and Liberia, but our operating center right now is Liberia and Guinea. Our mission here is to give scholarship, innovate schools, build well, donate textbooks, instructional material, school equipment, and give scholarship to young people and empower children and women in order for them to become a productive people in the society.
That's great. For me, I love humanitarian because one of the things you can do, one of the greatest service you can render is to give back to community and society. So I applaud you for that, and peace be to your father's arches and the idea that you are taking on his legacy to keep this thing going forward. I must applaud you for that. Anyway, I will turn over to my colleagues for now. Maybe they got one or two questions to ask, but I think I'm up to. I mean, on track now.
Great. Yeah. So Muna, you have any question?
Maybe I just want to know when I'm not like anyway, welcome. I just want to know when the foundation was funded and what are those challenges you face with at times.
Thank you, Mona. Since 2022.
Great. So since 2022. Is that all, Mona?
What are those challenges faced with?
Thank you, Mona. Let me begin with the U.S. The tri-state, most especially in New Jersey, we have carried on food distribution during the COVID-19. Multi-service have collaborated with Lost for Fana Foundation and make sure during the COVID, the residents of New York and New Jersey were able to receive some food on table during the heat of COVID. In Liberia, right in Vanchama, 2024, we were in Vanchama. We distributed tons of wheelchairs, clothing, used shoes, textbooks to students in Vanchama. Even in Moravia here, the same 2024, Multi-Service World Charity Foundation, we had the opportunity to visit orphanage home on EFW Highway. We were able to extend hand to those children, giving them hope that they are not in the staff in that area, they were not in this journey alone. Multi-service were there to collaborate with them and make sure to elevate poverty or help, the needed community in EFW Highway.
Great. Sheikh, do you have any question or maybe a statement, something?
No, not really. Let's just go ahead and maybe Mom has something to say.
My brother, excuse me. And to continue with the same humanitarianism, just the recent time, our own ELBC morning show, when I posted my number, I think one of the fire victim family had took my number and called me. While driving, going home, I intercepted the call when the news came, oh, Mr. Sano, we heard that your organization, help community that is in need. So we have another community in Bangetan. Fire had destroyed almost 9 buildings. Can you come and see the area? Immediately, I took that as urgent as it was, as a responsibility. I asked him, where are you right now? He said he was right by fish market. I told him to wait for me. Within 15 minutes, we got there, and we all drove to Bangetan. When we identified with the victim, and we told the victim that their pain was our pain, and we will be them to give their hope. We're going to share hand with our donors, and asking our donors for some funding, and which, of course, our donors help. we left, we went to Jacobtown, another fire victim, almost 27 building got burned. We were able to secure almost 40 bags of rice for the both residents through Multi-Service World Charity Foundation. And our donors who are entrusted us with their funding and working hard for those victims to receive the rice.
Wow, what a beautiful testimony. But I move on to, because there are other people too who are also following, and maybe they may be into their own, maybe some of them may either be into taxi cab, or track cycle, or keke, we can always say, and they following. Maybe they want to get quick, maybe information about how they can reach out quickly as we go through with our conversation. I'll be able to also give some of the information. Are you also on the website? You have an internet, or you have access, or people can easily get access to this organization? How can people get through?
Yes, we have a website called mscf.org. M stand for multi, S stand for service, W stand for world, C stand for charity, F stand for foundation.
So it's MSWCF.
No, MSWCF.
Okay.
Foundation.
MSWCF.
Yeah.
That's one on the internet.
No.
www dot. Because
No,
people are listening and they want
yeah.
to also follow. Yeah.
MSWC Foundation.
Okay, foundation.
Foundation.org.
Okay, foundation.org. All right. So are you also on the Facebook?
Yeah. Oh, I'm very active on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the same name?
On the Facebook, my personal account is Musa Sano. Then the Facebook page is Multi-Service World Charity Foundation.
Great. So that go back to how many people been maybe impacted about all of the gesture, everything you've been doing. Because mind you, there are so many times that when you give things to people, and you will see the multitude of people, sometimes you feel encouraged, or maybe sometimes you feel that, well, I'm only giving the same kind of people every time over and over. So are you also, how many people can we safely talk about here on this media? I guess need this organization.
Thank you again. Specifically, we have served over 200 community and more than 10,000 individuals around. 10 to 20,000.
Wow, that's great. That's a very, very huge number to even talk about. So if you are, wow, that's good. So I want to say congratulations to you. We'll go to the line to interact with our people, but that will be maybe about 6:40. But Mark, as we go along, let me ask this question, and I know maybe a bit further question to all of you as to where you get your funding from. Because man, you know, to even buy 25 kg, look, Liberia now already on 25 kg. So to buy 25 kg is around either 15, 14, or maybe 13 or 50 cents, something around that. But because you're not going to buy only one bag or so forth, you're about close to 50, 100, and 200 plus. How do you get your funding?
You see,
you just stole my question. You just stole my question.
Anything we do in life, God comes first. And if God is on your side, He directs you, He commands you. The moment you get close to God, He stuck you around Him. And when you're stuck, believe me, whatsoever you want, you're going to get it. The key to life is trust. And we have built our trust for more than 15 years. When our leading Kwaduboni Madingo Association, just in 2 days, one of our convention, we raised $28,000. Can you believe that? So most of our donors, including you, including those of you that are on Sktv right now, you have already donated to us your service. This is why I'm here. So you are one of our donors as well.
Oh, so that means in fact we are also contributing to
You're
the growth and
contributing right
development
now.
of your
This I'm
organization.
telling you right
Wow.
now. You're contributing right now. And fast forward, our community is our ATM. Because our community is always there to give. You have so many people, they will donate, they don't even want you to call their name. And more beside, we go on non-profit organization website. At the end of every year, you find donors, and we do volunteerism. We collaborate with other organizations in the US, making sure building our network with them. This is how we get our funding from other donors that we found at the end of every year. We advertise our institution to them. Like I said, the test for belief is provable truth. The people just want to see evidence of everything you're doing. As long as you can show evidence and they believe in what you're doing, believe me, your donor's hand open.
Great. Mark, follow-up question? Because I know it's like if you were thinking about how can I be able to get my question. But go ahead, Mark. Maybe you want to ask a follow-up question.
Yeah, the brother is doing a good job, and the outreach is it seems credible. The only question I wanted to ask, but I think you stole some of my thunder because I really want to ask about the source of this funding. If they are individual driven, or are you working with other charity organizations here in the US that are helping to provide these, give you some extra resources? Because trust me, now when you're into charity and people looking up to you, especially for the numbers of communities and individuals you have reached, is mostly capital intensive. It need a lot of money too. So apart from individual, are you working with any other organization in the US here that is kind of giving you some helping hand? And the second question to that is, what is your vision statement? What will you try to achieve? Let's say like at the end of the day, all the charity work, let's say a decade from now or 2 decades from now, what will be something you will look at and say, yeah, this is what I tried to achieve. This was our vision and we're able to accomplish our mission here or our vision. That's what they call vision statement. What are you targeting at the end of the day, your dream, what you want to see happening at the end of it all on this particular service, like what are you trying to achieve?
Thank you. Like I said, our mission is to improve low income and the life of impoverished community in Africa. And one of the legacy that I would think on if I'm asked, Musa, how you want to be called tomorrow? I want to be called for my service and my significance that people are going to benefit. The more I impact other people's life, they grow. I see smile on their face. That is the smile that I'm getting. They said the secret to life is to be compassionate and be helpful others. When not helpful to others, when they benefit and become a productive people in the society, that is the legacy that I want to build.
Well,
Okay.
great.
Yep.
Follow-up question to more question. Myself, I have follow-up question to that because sometimes are you not been deterred by some politicians? Because mind you, this is that some of you are also into. These are things that the politicians use to win the hearts of our people. So are you not deterred or are you not moved by some of the politicians or tell us some of the stories about some of these things. Sometimes if you carry some of the material or gift out there, people are not telling me to say, okay, maybe you won't be represented, you won't be senator, or maybe you want government job. Are you not deterred by some of these comments, or are you also experiencing some of the comments?
To both my listeners and my host here, I've been detailed with similar question when I was in Lofa, wherein I took on myself distribution among community members on Bengoma radio show. I was cautioned and they tried to tap into my intelligence, asking as to whether giving this donation, whether I have second thought and going into politics. I make them to understand that I'm not just prepared for government, but I'm prepared to be an impact agent to the society This is why I'm in Liberia, to be able to help and improve the life of young people or youth so that they can become a productive people in the society, so that they can be an independent agent for themselves, most especially through education. Because I got to understand that the literacy rate in Liberia is huge. So we've been collaborating with school district and funding textbooks in order for those material to reach a school area, so that our sons, our children, our daughters, they'll be able to benefit from those. Even Lofa County College, we donated to them as well. And I'm in good relationship with one of the department, criminal justice department, because it's my area of interest. And I'm in line with other renowned institutions in the state, so that I will be able to find educational equipment, most especially in the highest educational area, in order for us to help our school system in Liberia. So right now, my focus is to serve, home to serve the people.
Well, that's great. Folks, any other maybe follow-up question quickly before we go to the line? Because I want our people out there, maybe they have questions. Maybe I can one be part. You got people, in Liberia, they have a lot of people here also who are the kind of more hearts. They want to volunteer their service to people, out there, and they're also looking for trusted people. So thank God that Mr. Sano is here. So we're going to go to the line to take a few calls. But more, another any follow-up question?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, we listen to all the progress report, right? The progress report, why you doing, why you into, but those challenges, I want to know, right? The challenges faced with all the progress report and thing we listen to, and those challenges you face with as CEO. What are those challenges you face with?
Thank you, Mona. Some of the challenges lie in the hand: how to get the donors, how to navigate through the donors, how will the donors trust you, how will the donors listen to you. These are some of the major challenges that we have. And under the 15 years, around leadership, we quadruple leadership to present. I know the challenges, the heat has come to pass little by little, because we're able to tap into donors through volunteering for them. We give our services to them in order for them to trust what we are telling them, and we become a collaborating partner with them, moving from point A to point B. At the end of the day, we begin to market our mission to them, so that they can look into our mission. If they believe in what we are doing, it's really on their design to give. Believe me, because of the trust, the donors will serve us. But it's challenging.
Good. Mark,
Thank you.
anything, or we should go to the line straight to talk to our people?
No, I think I'm good from my end. Let's hear from our people and some of the interested party from Liberia or anyway, and maybe they got some questions or some concern.
Wonderful. So the number is 0770-203125. That's the number to call. In the midst of all of the holding and pulling, we have Google people who always come up to sacrifice for our people. You can be fighting for all the things, then you leave all of it. So 0770-203125. That's the number for you to call this evening to be part of the Sktv show and ask Mr. Sano. Maybe you want to appreciate him on all of the work that he's been doing. Again, 0770-203125. Let me see our best to go to this line and pick our first caller. Hello to this caller. Hello. All right. So keep a call coming 0770-203125 or 0770-203125. That's the number for you to call and be part of the Sktv show this evening. Yes, to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is JB Napoleon Gunn. I call from Duluthtown, Lower Mangibe County. And I think I listened to the program. I must applaud him for his contribution to this country, Africa. But I'm sorry, to concern quickly. Can he read out his number to some of us? I try to get to him through Facebook. It's difficult. The second point, can he extend his open to Duluthtown? a community that was heavily hit by Ebola along with West Point and were quarantined. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You want to read out? I guess that they have their office here in Liberia, and they will tell you how you can get through. But 0770 2031 25 today's caller. Good evening. Oh, well, yeah, sorry, 0770 2031 25. That's the number for you to call to be part of this show. Ask Mr. Please stop flashing. Those of you who are disturbing, man, stop that. You can be flashing people. 0770 203125. That's the number for you to call. Please stop what you are doing. If you are flashing, don't beep, or we can call it. Yeah, you're not get credit. Don't forget. The man will call his contact and the website, and you will go there also to be part. Those of you who also who are into this in my team and business. So let's call up. Good evening.
Hello, yes, good evening.
Yes, my dear, go ahead.
Yes, I'm Mr. Augustine, what I'm recording from the Tupu Road, Gambia.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us, my dear.
Yes, I want to appreciate my brother and father in the studio for the work he continues to do, and I want to admonish him to keep doing it. But we want him to also look at the issue, also look at the agriculture sector, because many of the young people who don't have jobs, some of us are just trying to make a little garden, a cassava garden, but these gardens you make it at town government, you got nothing. The process your cassava with is nothing.
All right. All right, thank you. I think the organization will look into that direction. To Ahmed Hammer, Ahmed, good evening, my dear brother.
Thank you so much for the recognition, and let me appreciate you and all I care for the collaboration you couldn't make for the people of Liberia and totality. I don't really appreciate your studio care for the level of what you could do after the money team. You know, you asked a question, and he did not answer the question to myself in fashion. You know, we are seeing so many people have come and give back to the people in every sector. Do you have any political ambition to the NASA?
All right. Thank you so much. Keep your calls coming 0770 203125. That's the number. Call in. Some of you say, oh, maybe you have now good thing here now. You know, see the kind of people that we have. Well, anyway, 0770 2031 25. All of you who can be on the defensive against and for, come and make your own input on what we are discussing here this evening, so that you can say your own you want to say and appreciate this our brother for Mr. Sana for all the good work you're doing. So Sediwo, my brother, good evening.
Yeah, good from Florida State, United States.
Great.
The Sana Institute. Just start listening to him, even though I heard mom asking some question concerning his donation and aid towards our people. I believe by now, Liberian people should move from donation and aid to the political reality where they empower their own people so that they can be self-sufficient. Because they dependency syndrome, when they do not stop giving what they are giving them, they become or look into different in the society. So can they start changing from donation to empowerment and then people think for themselves? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Somebody also talk about agriculture. So let's call up you. Hello. Well, as that you let me pay attention, yeah, then we'll take one or two more calls, then we'll cross over to our studio guest because we have to give him time to be able, yes. So so at 7 we'll go for news break. And at 7:15, we go on the second segment with all of the training national issues in Liberia. So let's call up. Good evening.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, my dear. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Dylan Nelson. I come from Duazon.
Great. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm making a small garden. I sell cucumber, pepper, and cheese. And so somebody asking if you want to help us. I live with little something to increase our gardening. So will it be possible?
All right, thank you. You know, you people are just the way you're doing it. You're now making even the donors for them to be generous more, because people want their entire to even graduate from drug giving, maybe something to empower. I like that. But anyway, one or two more calls, then we'll cross over to Mr. Sano so he can close up on the entire segment here, the first segment of the SKTV. But keep a calls coming 0770 203125. Most of you are women out there. I know some of you, yeah, most of the thing. Hello, today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm okay, man. Dear, thank God for life. Go ahead.
This is Martin calling for Tuazo.
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, what I want to say is that somehow we are trained men and rather from the trade school, there's no opportunity to see ourselves power. And some at the same time we are doing security work to empower them. I want to know whether they have opportunity for we the trade men so they can be able to compensate for to push ourselves forward.
All right, thank you. That's what they actually in my team and people can always do. The people that came before the missionary, that's what they used to do. All the people that are job, don't worry, the men will explain more and they will expand more on all these things. 0770203125. If not, then yeah, I should not waste our CEO and phone or time. In fact, we have 10 more minutes to go. Yeah, so Mr. Sano, I think you listen to Liberians, and most of them appreciate and also recommending.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mabra, and the rest of the people on this show. For those that spoke about agriculture is rather on our heart. For the reason we feel that if we empower our family members to go back on the soil to be self-sufficient, that will really help Liberians. We are in the know of that. The test for belief is proven true. I'm going to show you something right here so that you can get to understand those that spoke about agriculture.
Okay, great. So you have to send me that video, and trust me, I'm also going to play that video. But let's go back to
So what I was trying to say, we've been going around to really solicit information from people, and the people concerned, we will annotate those concerns and take it back to the state, funding donors to address this problem. But our major concern is agriculture because we want people to be self-sufficient and growing their own food in order to be dependent on themselves rather than government. These are some of the mechanisms that we're trying to put on table, to give independence to you, and opening a program, motivating the youth to be a productive people in the society.
Well, thank you. Mr. Sano, we have to go. How can people get you locally here in Liberia? Because others are also asking as to how they can get to you. Do you have any specific office here in Liberia that people can easily, maybe, because my YouTube we have other Liberians back home, maybe who want to donate some of their ending or help and say, okay, let's move straight to the office and carry this, or maybe what we have to the office. How can they get to you?
Thank you. We have our central office right now in Lofa, Voinchama. So we are finding the office here in Monrovia. This is why I'm here purposely, coming to find a nice area wherein we can be found day and night. But the number here to reach us is 077 000479 is the number in Liberia.
077, right?
No. 077 479. It's 479.
9. So it's 0770 479. So those of you who are, yes, 0770 000-479. That's the number you can call in, and most definitely you'll reach out to the office directly. Yeah, so Mr. CEO, before we go, I hope that when you people get your office, you also will send your team or maybe inform us so that we'll be able to inform our people about all the happening. But again, this issue of finding you on the internet is debut. Yes, so go ahead and tell our people how can they find you on the internet.
Thank you. First, my Facebook page, my regular page is Musa Sano. Then the Facebook page is Multi-Service World Charity Foundation. Then on the internet again, the website mswcfoundation.org.
Great. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Sanom. Oh, quickly before to leave a view, is there anything that you want to say to your people, to Liberians? Because man, when you have the kind of opportunity, it's good that you just use it and talk to your people back home. And very soon, I know you are in and out. You are a very busy person. So, is there anything that you want to say to your people back home?
Yeah, most especially my concern is on the youth, because the youth are the key player for the future. And Multi-Service World Charity Foundation, we are empowering agents, giving hope to the youth, showing to the youth that we can do great without government. Because it's better for you to do more for your country rather than you waiting for the government to do it for you. You and I, we have the potential, we have the ability, but just to go out to navigate through to get ourselves. And this is why Multi-Service World Charity Foundation, we are going to partner with other institutions, with other noble institutions that will join us to solve some key problems in Liberia, most especially for the youth and the old.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanon, for coming. And we wish that this will not be the end, and you all will come here to explain or to talk about your charity foundation to the Liberian people, and so that they can be aware of what's going on and what you are offering out there to your people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mona.
Thank you, Mr. Sanon. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Wonderful. So, folks, there you have it. We want to say thanks to Mr. Sanon for coming on. Yeah, so Mark, you and Muna, you can hold on a little bit while I do some adjustment. At 7 o'clock, we'll go for the news break, but you people can hold on. Yeah, I leave for the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, yeah, we got 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna take over. What's your take on the work?
Oh yes, it's not bad. What he's doing, his humanitarian organization, is a very good thing. He's doing helping people out there. But we sometimes see our best to empower people, to see our best they can stand on their own. Yeah, but he's doing a good job, although he has some challenges faced with, and all those challenges faced with, and then maybe trying to work on it small because again, donors, and he said that donors need evidence before they help you. So he making everything possible, making sure that we send evidence and then see how best the donor can be able to help. But everything now depends on donor for whatever reason. When they put cut off, now it becomes something is we start explaining. You see what happened, Monk? We depend on the donors and things begging, for assistance to see our best to help our people, help ourselves. For that reason, when the donors say, okay, within small, it becomes problems.
Yeah, it becomes a problem, especially when the organization is growing faster than expected, especially in the case of Liberia, where you got more people in need. And then, and not only that, it's not only about the donors trying to get evidences to see where their funds are going. It's all about donor fatigue too. At a certain point in time, you give, you start getting fed up, and so you got to have a system in place wherein you got to be more diverse in securing funding. And then the more the organization grow, the more resources you will need. You start reaching out to other bigger organizations that got the same vision as you. That's why I was trying to hear from him. But maybe he will come around that later. And but it's a tough thing. It's a great job because there are a lot of people that are in need in any way, shape, or form. From food to education, like especially in Liberia. I know almost the same case with Guinea, but it's a tough thing, and I wish him well. It's a legacy he said he's trying to establish too, because his
Legacy.
father, yeah, father did the same thing. That's great. I mean, you can ask for more. The best thing
Yeah.
you can do is to give back. So I wish him well in his endeavors for sure.
Yeah, wishing well to see our best. Yeah. Maybe as time goes by, he can stay on his own. Yeah, just forget about the whole do not delay there. Give something that's just hope and pray that everything
No,
goes
but
well.
but the thing about non-profit, you will still rely on donor. It's just that you have to be having a bigger pool of donors because
Thank
you
you.
cannot do it
Correct.
alone. No matter what, you need that
No,
money
you
and that
can't.
resources coming in. Because I know
You need
he's not the one
something.
writing all the books. Even when it comes to educational material, you still need people to help. You just need a lot of people to help because, like I said, if it start growing and then it become an issue because you have to meet the demand and the expectation is so high, the organization is growing, people are making more requests than you, then that's where the problem comes. But anyway, that's it. You'll still do
And
better.
one thing he said that you know venture in agriculture sector is very important. Agriculture.
Yeah,
Yeah, going to venture in that part. It's very very welcoming.
for sure.
Yeah, because if you do that and think it will help you, it will help you a lot. Yeah, helping to getting seedings, uh, the materials to do the work, and think of very fun thing. Then continue go helping. Yeah.
I spoke to one man of God last night. I said, the way we got a bunch of churches and mosques, all the religious institutions, why they cannot transfer some of their resources into agriculture,
Yeah.
wherein they can grow their own rice and sell it on the market for cheaper price and then generate more money to reinvest back into the church or into the mosque or into their synagogue or whatever religion to practice. Because we got more religious institutions and you asking these people to give, right? And
Mm.
but these people don't even have source of income, they don't have job. So the resources you got in the church, why not churches can start coming up with farms, right? Because we eat rice, we import rice. That's a big market. That's a multi-million-dollar market, rice importation. So if all the big churches with the thousands of members and raising unlimited amount of money, if you are buying farming equipment and making rice farming, right, and growing pepper and stuff, don't you think the church will end up making more money and you can even empower most of the members or people within the whole religious community, no matter your
Yes.
religion?
Sure. Sure. Oh, mom, yeah, I talked about that already yesterday. I flag it out on the show. Yeah, I talked about that already. I flag it out. Yeah, on the show about that alleged rape saga. And you know, mom, I enjoy it when you said I want to do away, want to do away with this godfather.
Oh yeah, we
The
get here another
godfather company.
godfather from Bunker. Then I
Yeah,
said, carry the man. When you use the word godfather, I said, ah, I was
yeah,
just
it's a
about to ask the
godfather.
question when he used that word godfather. I said, man, you don't even want to support the show. We don't want to
Yeah,
hear about godfather here.
yeah. You know, my people mean godfather. People may mean godfather. Ah, yeah.
Um,
I don't know that godfather thing.
Political godfather.
Okay. Good evening, RCA News Bulletin at 7. I'm Nikita Robert. The Supreme Court is expected to entertain legal argument on Wednesday, March 26th, in connection to embattle her Speaker for Nancy Corpus, a bill of information following a 5 months delay in the High Court. The leadership crisis at the House of Representatives is still ongoing, despite intervention by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Aggrieved students of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, MCC, have intensified protests in solidarity with MCC teachers' salaries increments, among others. And out of Liberia, a Sudanese war monitor has accused the military of killing hundreds of people in an airstrike at a market in the country's western region. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Aggrieved students of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, MCSS, have intensified protests in solidarity with MCSS teachers' salaries increments, among others. Recently, the MCSS Teachers Association announced an indefinite stay-home action until their demands can be addressed by the national government. The MCSS teacher demands, among other things, outline the immediate adjustment of monthly salaries of some employees in keeping with their academic qualifications and the transfer of all volunteered workers to full-time employment. But on Monday, students who were seen in government school uniforms believed to be from William V. Stutman, G.W. Gibson, and Detour Public School began a protest calling on national government to address the plight of the MCSS teachers to enable them return to their classrooms. The demonstration on Tuesday, day 2, resulted in significant disruption after another group believed to be members of the campus-based Student Unification Party, SUP, joined with the students setting up a roadblocks in front of the University of Liberia main campus, which led to huge traffic congestion as vehicles were unable to navigate through the barricaded streets. According to our reporter who visited the scene, this resulted to law enforcement officers, especially the Liberian National Police, firing tear gas aimed at scattering the protest. Meanwhile, Education Minister Dr. Jaso Jalai has termed the NCSS students' protest as a plot carried out for pressing against. Dr. Jalai disclosed that the Monrovia Consolidated School System has an annual budget of $4.2 million United States dollars, emphasizing that a total of $3.9 million United States dollars is used for salaries. Minister Jalai stressed that MCSS teachers have been paid their salaries, terming the protest action as concerning. According to Minister Jaso Jalai, certain individuals are the actual conspirators of the protest to paint a negative image of the government. Liberia's education minister narrated that the action is unfortunate as the students deserve a conducive space to learn, frowning at individuals she said are manipulating the students to abandon their institutional periods. Dr. Jalai has, however, disclosed that the ministry, in collaboration with the Liberian National Police, the ministry is collaborating with the Liberian National Police to establish the actual individuals behind the situation. In a related development, several students believed to be connected to the MCSS protests have been released by the Liberian National Police. They were apprehended during the violent scene that resorted to firing of tear gas by police and the throwing of stones by students. The students have maintained that they will continue their action until the government address their plight. According to reports, the students were demanding that they present their petition to lawmakers on the grounds of the capital, but they were prevented by Capitol Police. The students then resorted to staging the protest on the main road to draw the attention of lawmakers. The leadership crisis at the House of Representatives is still ongoing despite intervention by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Embattled Speaker Fonati Kofa, along with the Roadblock Caucus, has since met with an ECOWAS delegation led by Speaker Haji Memoana to Ibrahim to address the ongoing legislative impasse. According to our Senate reporter, key national stakeholders were part of discussions focusing on upholding the 1986 Constitution and the House rules. ECOWAS emphasized the need for political adherence to the rule of law. Embattled Speaker Kofa expressed support for ECOWAS' 6-point proposal, viewing it as a path towards restoring unity. However, tensions remain as the majority bloc of 43 lawmakers demands his resignation and conduct separate legislative session demanding deepening the stalemate. Although the ECOWAS delegation did not secure or definite agreement, they remain hopeful for a resolution. The Supreme Court is expected to entertain legal arguments on Wednesday, March 26, in connection to embargo House Speaker Councillor Fonati Kofar's Bill of Information following a 5-month delay in the High Court. Kofar's request to the High Court is seeking for an interpretation of the Supreme Court December 6, 2024 judgment after Justice Minister Councillor Uzwa Twed's account to President Joseph Boakai regarding the court's decision on the matter. Minister Twed's interpretation of the Supreme Court's opinion to President Joseph Boakai, according to RCR judicial correspondent, led to the executive branch of government doing business with the majority bloc headed by its representative Richard Coon. At the same time, report says Wednesday's legal proceeding will see the respondent, Councillor Vanish Sherman, respondent lawyer, Councillor Vanish Sherman, considering an application to the High Court to seek for the recusal of Associate Justice Yami Bwese from Wednesday's argument following his public statement on the matter when Kofar's Bill of Information was still before them for determination. The Ministry of Internal Affairs has, of this April 30th, 2025, suspended all traditional practices across the country. The decision, according to Minister Nimale, is attributed to the proliferation of traditional practices without check and balance, the hampering of children's school processes, and the forceful initiation of teenagers for commercial purposes. Addressing a news conference on Tuesday in Monrovia, the Internal Affairs Minister, Francis Nimale, disclosed that the decision comes following a consultation meeting with the Council of Chiefs from across the 15 counties, which they recommended that all activities involving Sandy and Puro Society be suspended until January 2025. He further set April 30th as the deadline for those currently in Parrot and Sandy Butch to be released, thus threatening unspecified actions against would-be violators. In a related development, the Ministry of Internal Affairs has disclosed with immediate effect all position of existing cultural leadership vacant. According to Minister Nimale, the decision was made to allow all the county's cultural coordinators position recommendations to be done through office of the country's, that's the office of the county's superintendent. He further disclosed that he will be meeting with the Council of Chiefs shortly to decide on the regulation of cultural activities. The Office of the Establishment of the World and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia and the Liberia Council of Churches have signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at accelerating the court's establishment. During the signing ceremony, the executive director of the Office of the Establishment of the World in Economic Crimes Court, Councillor Jala Babu, signed on behalf of his office, while the Secretary General of the Liberia Council of Churches, Reverend Christopher Torres, signed on behalf of the LCC. Speaking during the signing ceremony, the executive director of the World in Economic Crimes Court, Councillor Babu, said his decision the decision to establish a court, that's the court of war, to prosecute those who took part in war and economic crimes, has the propensity to make or break the society. According to him, the decision to establish the court, the War and Economic Crimes Court, will never be placed on the carpet. For his part, the Secretary General of the Liberia Council of Churches, Dr. Christopher Toll, said affixing his signature on the MOU is to accelerate the efforts aimed at establishing the War and Economic Crimes Court. Bowman County Senator and former House Speaker Ellis Tyler is expected to lead prominent citizens and supporters to convene for the homecoming of the Liberia's People Democratic Party at its headquarters in Congotown. Senator Tyler, former Foreign Minister Gaiwe Maktosh, and dozens of others left the LDDP because the ideological and political differences during the 2023 presidential and legislative elections, when large numbers of party National Executive Committee declared support for the coalition of democratic change. A 39-year-old Chinese national, Yong Dun, has been arrested and charged with defrauding 8 individuals of over $4 million. He was arrested on March 17 in Pearl River, Bomi County, by the Liberia National Financial Crime Investigation Division. The victims, including individuals and the Duke Global Investment Company, filed a complaint accusing Yen Din of receiving them and allegedly collecting funds amounting to 4,581.31.85. The money was transferred by the victims to Young's account in China and on the pretense of investment in Duke Global Investment Limited. The Ministry of Justice, in collaboration with the Liberia Medical and Dental Council, has arrested the administrator of the Lofa Medic Services Clinic in Jakarta in Painesville, Sam Wolobai, for alleged medical malpractices resulting to the death of a Liberian citizen. The Public Safety Division of the Ministry of Justice and the LNDC have, with immediate effect, shut down the local health facility pending investigation. Several Liberian legal practitioners are deeply troubled by Justice Sianiyo's decision to reopen the unethical case between Balayabo and Councillor Samuel Pearson following the conclusion of the matter by the Supreme Court. On February 17, 2025, the High Court reaffirms the Grievance and Ethics Commission February 7, 2024 recommendation with a modification to suspend Councillor Samuel Pearson for alleged practice for the period of 6 months in Liberia, despite the GEC's findings for 3 months suspension, but without restriction. An international women activist, Madam Chipo Yamboya, has admonished women to recognize the power they possess in shifting the futures. She said women play a pivotal role in creating life by raising and shifting the minds of teachers, lawyers, and politicians. Speaking on Tuesday at the start of a 3-day National Women Conference organized by the Liberia Ministers Network Fellowship in Painesville, Madam Yaboya urged women not to stay at the back. Instead, they should be at the front to take the lead. She spoke on the theme, the role of women in community initiative and nation building. For her part, the Liberia Ministers Network Fellowship Secretary, Madam Tawan Solonte Brown, underscored that violence against women has turned to a global epidemic that needs urgent response. She said women should know their rights, urging them not to keep silence on the issues of violence against them. To end this newscast, a recap of the top stories we have been following. Aggrieved students of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, MCSS, have intensified protests in solidarity with MCSS teachers' salary increment, among others. The Supreme Court is expected to entertain legal argument on Wednesday, March 26, in connection to embattle her Speaker, Councillor Fonati Kofar's Bill of Information following a 5-month delay in the High Court's case. The leadership crisis at the House of Representatives is still ongoing despite intervention by the Economic Community of West African States. And out of Liberia, a Sudanese war monitor has accused the military of killing hundreds of people in an airstrike at a market in the country's western region. That's our CNN News Bulletin at 7. I've been Akita Robert.
And indeed, you're listening to News Bulletin right here on Truth FM 96.1 with the time check nearly 90 minutes past 7 o'clock. And that's the time check. We're back on the SKTV show. We're going to be up to 8 o'clock. But Mark, we're back after the News Bulletin. There are a lot of things been said and there are a lot of things happening. I don't know. But Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here following.
Okay, okay, good. So I want you and Muna to hold on a little bit because we're having so many things that I'm setting up behind the scene. So I want you to hold on a little bit. You and Muna, you can discuss all of the issues happening. In fact, the Supreme Court is expected to entertain legal argument also on Wednesday, March 26th, in connection to House Speaker Councilor Frantic Kofa Bill of Information following 5 months of delay by the High Court. So yes, you can hold on, Mark. You and Muna will join you people in a jiffy.
Yep. Mona, what's your take on the news bulletin? Because only two story caught my attention. Like it's a whole different angle when you come to the MCSS students protest. Because I thought it was about salary, but some people say it's politically motivated, and they are talking about the education minister is saying that the teachers were paid. So I don't know if the protest is for increment in salary or teachers not getting paid. Now, if we add the third angle about people putting them to incite violence in the street for political purposes, then that's a whole different thing. So I don't know. What's your take on that? Like what you observe from the news bulletin concerning that particular story? Because I only saw them protesting. I didn't follow the actual story, but then later we started getting some details. So I don't know what you make of it.
Yeah, some because if it's in pay, maybe it's like we're doing that. I don't know, equipment or is it political motivated? Because if you are protesting, there must be a cost to protest. Because if teachers are taking pay, everything going on fine, maybe they want the teachers' salary to be increased. Maybe some teachers they are taking low money, so they want their salary to be increased so that they will keep being in a classroom to do their work. I don't know if any other thing or no. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean that's what I'm thinking too. Because she according to the news bulletin what she read, they gave their budget and they are being paid. It's not like they are going through any struggle with payment. So if they are calling for increment, that's one thing. At least it's understandable that because if teachers are making $150 on average, that's not enough. Looking at the person living condition, the prices for goods and services. Okay, you can make the case that we want a little bit of increment, but if you are jumping the screen for political purposes, then that's a whole different thing. If you are saying that the teachers are not getting paid, but the education minister is saying otherwise, then how do we come to the conclusion that somebody is at fault here? So for me, we'll still wait and see to get more information because the news
Yeah,
bulletin actually changed the whole narrative from what I witnessed. Because my initial argument was, I mean, my initial response looking at them protesting the money was maybe the teachers are not getting paid. That was the first reaction because I know it's already common in like, bro, we don't have mandatory spending. There are certain things all over the world. They don't need congressional approval or they don't go and argue about bills. These things must be paid for. I'm talking about education, healthcare, entitlement program. You got to give them without politics. So my initial reaction looking at it on the street with all the protests blocking the sky, like, you know what? I think it's about time. I think I even made a post about it that these kids need their teacher salaries need to be addressed because my initial response was they're not getting paid on time. But that's a whole different thing that I just heard from the news reporter that they got a budget, they are being paid, and there is some political aspect to it. And that would not be a good thing for them if they want to put politics. And we all know how Liberia is when it comes to the politics. So
yeah, maybe like the way you say monk, because maybe they are doing that. It's like some teachers, what they're supposed to get, they're not getting it. Enemy is low, their money is low because looking at that, there's some teachers we pay rent, they are renting, maybe at the end of the month, they'll go into credit and things. So if they get a budget and things, and then maybe they want their money to be increased or the budget is low for them, looking at the teachers, yeah, what they go through to teach and things. Some of them, their children go to school, they are renting. I don't know, but if we'll still look to see because at the end result, sometimes it may can be some kind of political something, yeah, to them told me to do something that would bring chaos and things. So we're still looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe,
okay,
maybe
it
they are
makes
fighting
sense.
for
Somebody is
their
saying
interest.
that they're calling for
Yeah,
increment. I
yeah,
guess
maybe that's
that would be a legitimate argument.
something
Matter of
that
fact, I'm one of the advocates for increment because if you get the entire MCSS school system with a budget of just $4 million and only $2 million going to salary, I would demand more because we're spending on a lot of useless things. That's why I tell folks all the time when you want to know how your government operates, just look at the way how government spend. Because when government spend, everything comes back to you. Either come back in the form of taxes or it come back in the form of inflation or borrowing to pay the government debt. So I want for the government to to prioritize spending on the most essential things in society: education, healthcare, infrastructure. These are things governments will be spending on. So if you are telling me the entire NCSS system got a budget of 4 million and you only, or three, I don't know, $3 or $4 million, and only $2 million go towards salary alone, then I think there is a need to make an increment to that because $150 in a month is not sustainable at all.
it's not.
Then it
It's
means you cannot get quality education because the teachers must go do a research. He must come and educate the future generation of the country. And you are telling me that that's a drop in the bucket as compared to how much we spend on our lawmaker just for
yeah.
their gas, their maintenance, and all that. You can still make some adjustment in the budget and put more money in education. So if the protest is primarily about increment in salaries and benefit, I'm for it. But if it got anything to do with politics, then you can count me out because I'm not here for the politics. I have no interest in the politics
No
whatsoever. So
interest at all. Yeah,
that's all I
because
wanted to
that
say.
happens. Yeah, that happens if that what it because Mongram, if the teachers are not paid well, for that reason, you see, government teachers they're teaching 2 to 3 schools because they want to get from that school is not sufficient. For that reason, they can't stay one place. There's not 4 5 schools. They will come here 1 hour. Which one they knowledge they don't where get the knowledge because when you teaching 4 to 5 schools, because what you supposed to get me your qualification, the money supposed to get you're not getting that money.
Yep.
You pay rent and you have your children going to school. Then at the end, result of the money you can't receive 150. That the main place the government supposed to focus. Those things we should prioritize those things that matters, right? Those things that matters, we should prioritize them. Education, you have the health, infrastructure, you have securities. You prioritize those areas and things, and you get better result. For that reason, the thing are getting small money from the school year. They get vacancy somewhere. I will go apply. I will go apply there. I will write. I'm successful. I will go there. So the government will see reason to see how best those that are qualified, they have that qualification, they should be paid according to their qualification. That will make them stay in the school for that full time to teach that the children go to get a better understanding of that lesson they are teaching. But if you giving teachers somebody you giving me 25,000 or 150,
Yeah, in a month.
yeah, and some of them before even the month end, they're not credit.
Yeah.
At the end, that money come. How much you carry
How
home?
much you carry home? So,
Spend
and
all
the
those
thing is,
things that
and the
matters
thing
is
is,
good for them.
yeah. Go ahead, Muna. I think you are completing your thought. I thought you were
Right,
done, but
right,
go ahead. No,
right.
the thing I want to say, that's one of the reasons on this platform we talk about young people. When you are young, you think you're invincible. But one thing that young people fail to realize that anything that happens in that country, they're the one who feel the most. Because they got the longest time to spend on the planet, like I keep saying it. And when they're talking about you being impacted, it's happening so many different ways. It could be directly or indirectly, and that's just one aspect. We'll be talking about your education. Now, your teachers are not getting paid on time. Their salary is not even enough to take them to the 15th of the month. They must go to 2 or 3 other schools. Talk about the physical energy. I'm not even talking about research. This is how you got low quality education because the people that are teaching you, they are human beings. They must go home, they must read books, they must put information together. They should come and impart it. They should explain subject matter to you in a way that you will understand. Now, if this man must teach 3 or 4 different schools, what make you think you got the energy to even focus on teaching you? So in the long run, you will become the victim. Look, let me tell you something, one that why people don't understand. All over the world, it's the same business model when it comes to government. You want to reduce the size of government, you want to focus on the most important and the critical aspect to do spending.
We don't have revenue problem anywhere in the world. It's about spending. Because when you bring corrupt people to government, like I keep saying it, the only place in the world that someone is legally authorized to spend your money is in government. Nowhere else it can happen. I can spend your money in private sector. The only place you can spend people money legally with the full backing of the law is in government. So when you bring bureaucrats to power, they see unlimited amount of money, they will create conditions to keep making more money. If you, the citizen, cannot put a stop to it and put pressure on them to spend the money back on you, then you will become the victim. It's going to affect you at the end of the day. So whether it's in healthcare, okay, yes, we got tens of thousands of government employees on the payroll. But look at the government. Do you think we need those employees in those areas? Do you think we need some of those institutions that still exist today? Because the more they spend on themselves, the more they take from you. The thing is like a game. It's you versus the government. If the government invests more into you, the country becomes better. You get more opportunity. Then you can pay more taxes back to the government for the government to put the money back to the economy. But if you will sit there and few guys take 35, 40 million from your budget just on your basic expenditure, entertainment budget, traveling allowances, gasoline, maintenance, cars. If you will sit there and allow $40 million in the budget year to go to only 105 guys for their benefit, and you look at the entire school system, the MCS school system, one the biggest county in the entire country with all the consolidated system, they can only get 3 or 4 billion. Think about that. How do you sustain that kind of a society? And I'm just talking about education. I'm not even talking about healthcare. I'm not even talking about infrastructure. I'm not even talking about agriculture. Just education alone. MCSS school system. Now the question is, if MCSS will be complaining about budget constraint, then why you think happening in the Leeward counties, in the remote villages? Why you think happening there? I don't know what to say, Mona. We just want to show and get to talk to be on the rest of our history so that one day when we get old, we can say we're on SKTV and we did our part. I think that's just why it is, because I don't know what to make of it. And it's one government after another. The same protest, the same problem, it keep persisting from one administration to another. Matter of fact, I don't think it's even getting better. It just keeps getting worse. And every time these same students will jump on the street to protest for something as basic as education. We don't need to be making this kind of an argument. Like I said, these things will be mandatory government spending. You take the politics out, look at people. I mean, how long it would take you to figure out in the country, you already know the prices of goods and services. How long it would take you. I know teachers are not the most paid people in the world. Even in the US, they don't pay teachers yet that much or professors, but they pay them enough to sustain themselves. That's why you see most of the time in the US, even people that teach at university, professors, they got some other part-time job. But that's just a backup. But if the school, their salary is more than enough to take care of them. They can live on their wages alone, even if they choose not to take another job. But most of them will always come because teaching is more like a passionate thing. Not too many people go into colleges just to become a professor. They want that passionate about it. They want. Some people just like to be around other people. They are extrovert. They love lecturing. They love impacting knowledge. So teacher job is more like a passion. It's very passionate. And people love those kind of a career, but at least you should compensate them to be able to sustain them. That's just how it is. But when you are paying people too low of a salary, that a man must teach 4 or 5 different institutions. Think about that in a day, Mona. You think you can do that every single day of the week? Your body cannot even sustain that kind of a pressure, except you just go there and just pop in.
What do you expect when a person is not getting more money? What do you expect? They will teach 4 or 5 schools. So the students, they are protesting a very good cost for the teacher salaries to be increased. Look at one lawmaker salary, one lawmaker salary. For that reason, the teacher will go in that class, the whole day was in that class, the student won't take anything home.
Yes.
Nothing home.
He's tired already, beat up.
When they call the postman and tell them, they went Simon, go look for this. They go
He's gone.
else.
He just keep them busy and he's out. No explanation.
They go somewhere else.
Wow.
So they don't need that the government put more attention. There's those things that matters. They should go for the policy confusion that can bring no help and things to the country. Look at what lawmakers salary. They looking at teachers. So when they're renting, you know what the amount of pay to rent place in Liberia, you want the decent place, you know how much?
Yes.
That children going to school. They will get second thing. Some will go credit, some will go into loan to take loan.
Wow.
Yeah, they be paying small. They took loan every time the money can they cut that money. Small, just to sustain themselves, to keep the family up. So there's a need to be a protesting a very good cause. Let the teacher salaries be increased. There are so much important people in society. Teachers, increase their salaries. Then you're only there fighting for your money to go up and thing, fighting to move people. But then the
Yeah,
teachers,
and all the budget hearing and all the
all of
extra
that.
settings and all the budget hearing, they take thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Can you imagine spending $100,000 on an extra sitting? Congress in
Yes.
session, maybe even though we pay them extravagantly, when they come for extra sitting, you must cover the cost. You think they want to stop that? Do you know? Let's assume if you were to increase the salary, let's even say about $50. Let's say make it $200 or $250 across the board on a monthly basis. One extra sitting alone by a lawmaker, it can cover more than 50% of those teachers' salaries just within the MCD school system. That money alone,
Yes, indeed.
$700,000.
Yes, to you, Mark, and Mona, let me say many thanks to the two of you for that brilliant points and analysis. That's just so magnificent. That's the country that we live in today, where we see that, people who have been underpaid and the same group of people who do most of the work. So that, for example, even the police officers who are even firing tear gas today, how much most of them making today or now? But they are firing tear gas. So you see how politicians make our people to be like. You see what they have done to our society, that we will give these people courage of some small thing so that they will be able to fight among themselves, because we not want to be like us. So let me play this video from our president when you were campaigning. But then these are kind of people that will bring to power. At the end of the day, today we are.
Let's bring the ambassador, Jose Yemabuaka, to the Spoon Talk.
Thank you very much, Stanton, and thanks to all of you, gentlemen, including the only female that I see. I want to thank you people. You know, something is happening in this country. The fact that the Liberians have now galvanized themselves to rescue this country is very interesting. Mr. Weir, the last time we contested, his helicopter was 35 years old. And I brought in a helicopter that was 4 years old. Today, I see him with an upgraded helicopter, all from the people money. This country is bleeding, ladies and gentlemen. It's no joke. I've been around, and every day I come up with new ideas. Some of them are now concepts that started with WIA, but it's to show you that the country is declining. I started talking about corruption, talking about coach, but then later on, as I go around the country, I see our resources that are leaving this country with no sign of benefit to the people. And this is a serious problem. We're losing the human mind, we're losing our resources, and we're losing everything. What kind of country are we going to have? And the concern is that Joe Barker said that this country will be finished. I was not talking about trees and houses. I'm talking about when you start robbing the country of its human resources, you start robbing the country of its natural resources, and there's no benefit to the country, then you say that country is not going down the ground. This is something that we have to fight. It's not about our party, it's not about our individuals, it's a concern that we should share. And I'm very happy to see Liberians in the diaspora who are coming back. I met with a group of them today. If there's no time in your life that you have faced a problem together as a nation, this is the time. You keep these people in power, I say again, the country is finished. It's not.
Wonderful. If you keep these people in power, I can tell you that the country is finished. But mom, the country is declining. The country is all of the adjectives that you think about. This president of ours, the deacon, use all of the adjectives to describe the country. But now, mom, tell me, for God's sake, someone will say, okay, maybe by then, maybe the president was something. In fact, even the president, even included all of you, that some of you are coming down, the diaspora people are coming down, and that we're going to work together. But after a few months or few years or 1 year, the president said that you people, in fact, I have a message for you people. Mom, these things are becoming a trend for our society, where you will notice that the politician will continue to do the same thing like, okay, it's pass to pass. After Mabon, the monk. After monk, the Muna. After Muna, that maybe the Paul. After Paul, the Annie. Because if you go back to all the students' agitations or all of their accusations or maybe their protests and so forth, that also started when the former president Chad can get to the time. And today we are still watching or witnessing the same things happening on our eyes. Monk, can we safely say, I think this is deliberate, or maybe these are things that our politicians do to just get our people into abject poverty?
Well, it's not restricted to one administration. It's been happening time immemorial. It's just that this current, the past and the present administration took it to a whole different level. That's the only difference. And it's become a very tough thing during the political process for young people. Like I said, we haven't seen real success. We haven't experienced real success in Liberia when it comes to governance. So every time we go to an election, it's almost like we are rolling the dice. Because if you, let's say, you are a young man in Liberia and you are the age, let's say you're in your mid-30s or your late 20s, and you have voted in 3 or 4 election cycles, and you keep getting the same thing, how can you even be able to identify a better candidate? If all this thing been happening, it been this particular ball been rolling down the hill and nothing changing for you, and every time it's a protest, and every time you are talking about a teacher increment in salary, and you're talking about an other statement of Joseph Boaga. You know the one thing I love about that video? Everyone of them got job, I think with the exception of Ansu Dwalu and Stanton. The rest of them in that video, they got job in government. If you show that clip again, every single one of them in that video.
And they are working.
Yeah, they are working.
These are kind of people that were also talking yesterday.
Yeah, that were talking yesterday. And that one of the things, the voters were hoodwinked because the whole thing, we used to say on SKTV, the whole rescue mission, it was never about you. Apparently, you never got a memo. Look, let me tell you something. I'm not here to play politics. I'm not here to tell people how to vote. But the one thing I can tell the Liberian voters, come 2029, when they give you a ballot sheet, you should ask for an extra black marker. And that extra black marker, make sure you cancel Unity Party and CDC first. I'm not talking about the check mark or box for a candidate. The very first thing you should do with that black marker on election day, you should ask for a black marker. You cancel Unity Party and CDC off your ballot. It won't be a discarded ballot because you ain't checked the box. Then you come outside, you wave to the poll watcher, and then go back in the voting booth and then pick any candidate of your choice. I will live with that decision. That's why I would tell people for 2029. The first order of operation, when they give you a ballot paper, look for a black marker, cancel Unity Party and CDC out first. Then you step outside the polling station, wave again to the poll watcher, walk back in the voting booth, and then pick any candidate of your choice. Because at this stage, I have never seen the kind of abuse. I have never seen the kind of recklessness where a president has been in the corridors of power for almost 4 decades, talking about losing the country when, in fact, just to govern his own administration is becoming a problem. I'm not even talking about the policy, because it's one thing to implement policy, but it's another thing just to carry on the day-to-day function of your own administration. If you cannot achieve that, then how can you fight corruption? Talking about the human resources being drained, your resources. What are you doing? We're going to the second year of your administration. You're talking about brain draining. MCS students are protesting. That's stealing from their future. It's the same human resources draining you are doing. Matter of fact, it's even worse. Maybe.
Yes, indeed, and that's the point about that, because mind you, the senator of Montserrado or of the county Montserrado or the national capital, the biggest country in Liberia, saying that once upon a time said that the Liberia economy was in a septic tank. But right now, Mark, you know this thing when you say this thing, people want to say, where is the economy right now as we speak?
In the swamp. Because when you build a septic tank, you send the crop to the swamp, so the waste can go in the swamp. Right now, it's not in the septic tank because the septic tank is right near the house. Even though it's a septic tank, but it's not far from the house. But when you're in the swamp, then it means you are worse than the septic tank. That's the septic tank. That's just why it is, Mabel.
But you look, Mark, I think we gotta give you an award. And Mona Monjo know it because from the septic tank, they gotta go into
straight in the
the
swamp. Straight in the swamp.
So, Mona, can you probably before you go to the line to take calls on the latest happening on today of the protest coming from the MCSS students? Mind you, though, this thing been around for a very long time, and this thing look like, for me now, I don't give up now on our MCSS students because most of these government officials and also the religious people, they have their private schools. So when you come here, people think, but I was listening to more, even talking about our religious people. These are kind of a group of people who are even killing this country back to back because they have their own private schools that they charge the people anyhow they want to, and they do anything that they want to do. Nobody going to question them because they feel that they are private school. Today, you see students, children, people protesting out there just because they want better education. And Mark, I don't know, I want you to also clarify this information from Burkina Faso quickly before Mona go to the line, that the president in Burkina Faso declared free education for all. For all. So I want you to check, check that research,
I saw that information. I'm yet to authenticate, but most of the time, this information coming from Burkina Faso, if you go do your research, they all happen to be the truth. Like I said, it's where the government determined to put their resources. It's not about the money that the government generate. At the end of the day, it's where the government is spending money to have the most impact. This guy is not only bringing about farming and making that farming and industrialization. He's not only being low or housing unit for his people. He's doing a lot of great things. The question is, Melbourne, in your country, where are you spending the bulk of the resources? Where are you spending the money? The president you're talking about no sun. You are not seeing no sun for the benefit of the country losing their resources, including human resources, and he himself making situation worse. That's one of the many reasons that when election time comes around, even candidates that want to explain greater idea that believe that they can get a job done, they don't gain traction because one administration after another, it's like the people are so sick of failure that they cannot even identify success. That's why the problem in Liberia is you have failed for so long that even when the guy who got a goose or deliver come and tell you, say, I can get a job, then let me, you know what? I'm so sick of it. And I can blame the voters themselves. There's a man that been in government forever, and he's even struggling to govern his own administration, not even to give you results, but just to carry on the day-to-day operation. One day the constitutional violation, one day he's doing things in Israel. Look at he went and hired international expert with it who asset recovery. Now, when the LCD said we are concluded on 27 cases,
so
we don't have a corruption code. Yeah.
So Mark, 30 seconds, if it's true, then let Mona take calls.
Let Mona take calls. Yeah, let me stop there for now. Tomorrow we'll dive deep into that anyway. So.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Okay, numbers to put a call through 0881 14 35 04 0776 105 105 0881 14 35 04 0776 105 105 0881 14 35 04 0776 105 105. This person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Name and calling from where?
Okay, thank you. My name is Martin Semutuba, and I join you from Kingsville, Maserati County.
Welcome. Let's hear you back.
Okay, let me appreciate you people for affording Liberians the opportunity to call in and make their state as a citizen and vote in our country. And I would just love to speak to the aspect of the students riot today that took place in Liberia. We all were students. Maybe we came from the grassroots aspect of the educational sector, and we understand that indeed when you are a student, you are a student. What do I mean by the statement you are a student? It means to say that when you are a student, you live within the confines of the law. But do not allow yourself as a student to be carried away by politicians that will just cause you to have some level of bodily wound like what took place today.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome, name and calling from where?
My name is Badia Ben Flagbull from District Number 5 in the People Republic United. In the People United Republic of Nima County.
Let's hear
right now, I call you from a Bonafide resident.
You are live. Go ahead.
My brother Mong, I listen to the program every time, almost every day. I appreciate your effort. You people are exerting effort and lot to educate us as a Nigerian. But my question is as to whether we will take in this education come 2029. This is not the first of a kind. Education will come to the public and always fool us. At the end of the day, we'll be dragging our knee and crying. Will all of the journalists cry on the citizens of Liberia and advising them to vote wisely? At the end of the day, you people, your effort can be wasted by us, the electorate. Because see 42 years experienced men, our father that was brought to power, see how we have been treated in the country. I just called to tell you people thank you very much for the effort. Thank you and bye.
Thank you so much for calling 0881 14 35 04 07761 05105 0881 14 35 04. This person. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Now this is Swen. We are a call from Grand Bassa.
Welcome. Let's hear you, Swen.
Yeah, thank you for your analysis. We appreciate you people a lot. And to the issue of the speakership, can you imagine the ECOWAS delegate team and other factions are saying that they are not recognizing the people. And when we have problems that the first people will be on photo. And then when the people come to us, we reject whatever they want to tell us. And these are the very first contact people, ECOWAS, before you even get to European Court or the World Class Court. Those kind of people come to you to settle the dispute, then you tell them and say, no, say you don't recognize me as a white speaker, you don't call him a new speaker, and you calling me SYG, honorable man, so I'm not coming to your call. So those kind of things that our lawmakers that will put up there to work for us, so that we can see like the kind of way they are trading, it frustrated some of us.
Thank you.
So I think.
Yes, listen. Good evening.
Hello.
You are live. Name and calling from where?
Okay, this is Sammy Kesari in a call for Johnsonville.
Let's hear you, Sammy.
Yeah. Okay, I listened to the conversation. I'm sorry that you don't know the detail of what is happening today with regards to the protest today. I'm one of the insiders.
Okay.
I must tell you that I graduated from the University of Liberia with a PhD in secondary education. And I was hired by the MCSS school system. Some of us have worked for a year, 2.5 years, up to today. We have not been employed.
What?
Volunteering. I'm telling you something serious. This is the reason why I decided to call today, so that you will know what is happening in the MCSS school system. We have not been employed. So that's the reason why we have made all efforts, meeting, writing, even the minister of finance. I'm very disappointed when I heard the minister saying that MCSS teachers have been paid. In fact, their budget is 4 point something million. You understand? And they are the ones that really supporting this government. And they are in the know what is happening to MCSS. We have made all effort, and today there is no response to our call. We got children, we got family, we have to attend to them. We can continue working and we can get paid. It is not only limited to salary increment. The flat in there is that the volunteer be accommodated. 1, 2, that the update the salary of employees. Can you imagine up to today, people who have BSc taking the certificate money? Who is doing investigation? Tomorrow, say your journalist to go and do an investigation. If you think I'm lying.
No, you're
My
not.
brother, Mona, let's do this. Mona,
Yeah.
let's do this, please. Just before we got limited time, right? Let's forget about taking call because there's an insider calling. Let he give a total breakdown and let end the show with him. Let he keep going.
I'm sorry.
No, just explain. Right? No, go ahead. Go, just give her. Just tell exactly what any call. Just tell exactly. Go ahead.
You see, so we have done all we can. So today, teachers are people. They are calm people. We know we got children. They are going to school. We understand. But when you see teachers abandoning classes, there's a reason. There should be investigation done. What have the minister done regarding the volunteers? The president came and said they have exhausted all of the volunteers. That was done too. And the minister said, in fact, in January, they were going to exhaust all of the volunteers and there will be equipment. Up to today, go there. All of the volunteers on the MPSS, one person is not on payroll. Exam, all of the time we have been volunteering.
Wow.
Exam, we are not getting from government.
How many years now? How many years now we're talking about?
Some are going for years, some are going for 6 months, some are going for 5 months, just like that.
I want to ask the brother a question, Mona.
Yeah, go ahead, Mom.
I don't know if you're hearing me. My brother, I want to ask you because it's been speculation since we saw
Chief.
No, let him just go ahead. Let him continue. Let him keep going.
We have waiting level. Even our leaders are making efforts to see how better to meet the minister to sit with him and discuss things. There is no answer to our call.
Just hold it long. Mom, ask a question. Hold it long, Chief. Just hold it long, please.
I don't know what Melbourne got planned for tomorrow. If this brother can really come on the show to settle the school, because there are so many theories out there about this protest.
Sure.
And what he's literally telling us is about being lied to. It's about absorbing those volunteer teachers, and they are not even meeting the expectations. So maybe
some of those things.
So tomorrow, can you get to?
No, but get in contact with Melbourne because he's the one that can.
Huh?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, please get a Truth FM app for Melbourne.
Okay.
Your name again?
Sami Kesari.
Sami Kesari.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so tomorrow, please get to Truth FM ask for Melbourne.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Sami.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Mom?
Yes. You see why it's good to ask more questions? The brother's giving a whole different angle, because the thing is, one group is saying, oh, they think it's about salary increment. Some people say, oh, it's about teachers not getting the pay. The minister is saying that, oh, they got to pay. Now the brother is telling us that it's about the volunteer. It's about what they were promised. And up to now, they can't even.
The volunteer equipment.
So it's a lot to this story, and hopefully tomorrow we can get, for the benefit of the audience here, to get the real truth and to know what's happening, so we can expand on it a little bit. I don't know. It's 3 minutes away from the time, so I don't know what you got, but I think we did our part today.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think Melbourne is coming back, but it's so sad. The one thing I want to ask him, Mona, if you will come here tomorrow, I want to know what was the initial agreement before even said signing off for voluntary services. That's what I want to know, because if the regular teachers are not getting paid on time and they're not making decent wages, why would even encourage me for me to be a volunteer, hoping that I will get hired myself? Because if the regular employees are still struggling and not getting compensated regularly or handsomely, then how can you sign up to be a volunteer to go 6 months to a year without even getting absorbed into the system? So what was the initial promise? What was the agreement between the Ministry of Education, the volunteers, and the teacher themselves? Because the reason the teacher won't volunteer because he want to go and teach another school to get extra income. Like you were saying, some of them teaching 4 or 5 schools. So they need these volunteers to come and fill in for them, because they think the more schools they can teach, the more money they can make, because they're not getting decent wages anyway. But then if the guy who is coming to compensate you, to cover up for you, he's not getting paid, then it become a problem too, because he can't keep volunteering all his life. So look, this thing is deeper than we initially thought. It's so sad.
You will get tomorrow, then tomorrow we can expand more on it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, most likely. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if Melbourne is coming back, but that's it for the day.
So.
Yeah. 2 minutes to show time. All right, guys. We'll do it tomorrow and hope that brother comes on to give real clarity to know exactly what's happening, because there are so many twisted angles to this story, and every time we keep uncovering new mysteries to this one story about this teacher and the whole protest thing. Some people say it's politically motivated. That's what the education minister was trying to insinuate. That's the kind of narrative she want to create out there, that people are kind of pushing this thing on water to sensitize these children in order to bring about chaos. But the brother that just called, being an insider and a foot soldier as well, a volunteer, I think he got more to say in this on the subject matter. But anyway, same time, same station tomorrow. We do it again, Mona. Take care.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Mong, and many thanks to all of you. Do join us tomorrow, same time, same station, for the program, the Sktv show. Goodbye to all of you, our viewers, my sister, you too, Mensa, all of you, right? Goodbye. Do join us tomorrow. Bye bye.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the parents from there. The work of my life we have here.
I live
Master.
Clever so make you I can't Sktv benyo. Say my journey, tina get I say my yamo. And you no money, emu aye yo. And you love emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lopa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who waiting to serve. The flesh that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside River G to G-Day, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.